In an underground nightclub, Orlok and his new batch of vampires walk in and, looking at them all, they then go for a random human and start to rip them apart. Locking the door behind him, Orlok then goes at full speed, ripping out people's throats, feeding on them, having a whole gore fest around them. Orlok then says as the music plays loud, "Ah, feeding frenzy." The next morning, as police officers investigate the crime scene, closing it off, a Foundation car arrives with Agent Todd Browning and Van Helsing inside, with another employee of the Foundation. They then approach the crime scene, wanting access. The police don't permit it at first, but then, showing their authority over them, they enter the crime scene and look around, seeing the whole nightclub a slaughterhouse, blood and body parts everywhere. Ava then goes, "God, what the fuck happened here? They have some sort of fucking feeding frenzy?" "This is no work of a normal vampire," said Agent Browning. "Vampires and humans, secret human societies, have an understanding with vampires, coexistence and hiding. Of course, before it was a secret order. I'm not so sure now. And if Orlok is out, he's giving vampires a bad name, and humans are already on edge about the existence of supernatural beings. Not even religious groups have took it in kindly yet. Come on, we best get back to the Foundation. Just take a sample for the lab. And the mop-up crew should be here soon." Then the clean-up team arrive, saying, "This is our jurisdiction now at the Foundation. You police are relieved of your duties. We will clean this up and make it look like some sort of accident. You Foundation folk, you're an absolute disgrace, putting us police out of business." "Yeah, well, you're going to see a lot of us." "Yeah, well, given that we now know monsters are real, I think they're real and they're evil. It's about time someone did something about it." "Yes, the Foundation are," said Agent Todd Browning. "We're done here." Back at the Foundation, they analyse the blood and look at it. As the night comes in, Dracula awakens. Dracula then comes into the lab and is explained what the blood sample is. Dracula then goes, "Let me take some." He then dips his finger in and licks some of the blood, and then has a premonition, seeing everything that happened through the eyes of many of the victims of the nightclub. Dracula then says, he's getting stronger. The more he kills, the more he transcends. He is getting more dangerous. You humans are going to soon become lambs to the slaughter. And if he gets strong, I don't know what we could do to stop him. "Well, Master," said Tamara, "looks like we should try and stop them." "Master? Why do you insist on calling me that?" "Because our bloodline, the Renfield bloodline, is loyal to you. We've told you this before. Also, if you get into any trouble, I would like to represent you as my client. I'm a fully trained lawyer too, by the way, Dracula. Just like great-grandfather was." "I see. Well, we must continue the hunt. His powers are growing." Then, in his hideaway, which is now a warehouse, he walks among all his newly turned vampires, feeding on homeless people and drug addicts and missing people. He then states, "My children, the night is new again, and it is time we go out on the feed. The night is young. Let's enjoy it." Then Orlok and his minions screech loud, feeding on blood like vicious animals. Later that night, Orlok and his vampires don't just go to an underground club, but an underground secret vampire club, where they all drink blood, have orgies. Orlok storms the place, and then looks upon the new vampires as he takes out the music box, saying, "Look at you. Is this what modern society is done? Made you. You are also human. You don't even have your fangs in the center, and your teeth are not as sharp. What the fuck happened to you all over the years, evolving, adapting to your human nature?" Then one vampire approaches them, saying, "Stop this. Yes, we are not to your standards anymore, but I know of your legends and your tales. We need humanity so we can..." And before he could finish his sentence, Orlok decapitates the vampire and he burns into dust. Then Orlok goes, "My children, destroy these modern fucks and have some fun." Then, as Dracula is patrolling and walking through London, he then stops Ava, who is with him, saying, "Dracula, what's going on?" "I have just felt not a thousand, but many voices cry out and then just stop." He's at a vampire bar. A vampire bar? You have bars? Yes, we have bars. Come, we need to go there now and stop him. As they hurry there, with a SWAT team of Foundation Army people, Dracula breaks into the vampire bar and sees dust everywhere, as Orlok has slaughtered many of them. Orlok then sees Dracula saying, "Ah, my child. I see that a lot of these vampires have adapted to the society that they once were, like they're trying to hold on to their humanity. I know that you lost it with your humanity at one time, because you were denied your love. But you're reunited with your love, and you have your emotions turned on. What if I compelled you to turn them off? I am not turning my human emotions off. But you can be like you were when you lived in that castle for centuries. How about it, Why not turn your emotions off? Turn them off. No. As your maker, I command you, turn them off. No, said Dracula. Then Orlok grabbed him and said, look into my eyes. You turn your emotions off. As your maker, I command you. Dracula then all of a sudden drops a straight emotionless face, then saying, now, kill that pathetic human that you call Van Helsing. Dracula. No, said Ava. I'm not going to let you do this. I'm sorry, but I can't stop. And I can't feel now that I have my emotions turned off. Then, Dracula pulls out his sword and gets his medallion and presses the jewel, opening his nanotech armor, and starts to fight Ava. Then, Orlok makes his getaway with his horde of children. Orlok then says, come, my children, we must go to the Foundation. Whilst Dracula and Ava constantly fight, Ava tries talking to him, trying to reason with him. Dracula, compelled by Orlok's control, he says, I'm sorry, Ava. But no, I'm not sorry. I am Dracula, and I am the Prince of Darkness, and you are just a lamb that needs to be slaughtered. Then Dracula fights her and eventually overpowers her. He then recedes the helmet of his nanotech armor to take a bite into Van Helsing. Then, stopping as he's feeling sickened, Ava then says, yes, I eat garlic every time I go out hunting, Dracula. Then, Browning and Renfield show up. Renfield going, Master, stop this now. You know that you can't achieve what you want without me. You gave my family that purpose in life. You gave me purpose. Yes. And this Orlok, he's not in your sight anymore. meaning he should not have to control you. Don't let him control you when he is not here. Now, undo what he has commanded of you. He's not here, meaning he can't control you, meaning he has no power of you here. He has no power of me here. Dracula then focuses, saying, think about Shelley, your lover. Dracula then collapses to the ground as his nanotech armor recedes back into his medallion. He then thumps the ground, strong and hard, letting out a huge roar and cry. He then says, we have to stop Orlok. He is getting powerful, as I keep saying it. We'll find him, said Ava. Meanwhile, Orlok finds the Foundation. Yes. I can smell the blood. Then, a Foundation SWAT team come out and capture Orlok, and then imprison him. Agent Browning then receives a phone call, saying, hello. I will. Agent Browning then says, Dracula, the Foundation have caught him. Then we must return. Back at the Foundation, Orlok sits in an interrogation room. He then gets interrogated by Dorian Gray, saying to Orlok, my name is Dorian Gray. The co- and acting director of the Foundation, as our current director is away on business. So, you are what they say the ancient blood, are you? I am Orlok. Some call me Nosferatu. Others call me Devil, even though I am not that. I mean, I have seen the devil once, but I'm glad he's not walking this plane of existence, at least not yet. I mean, the end will begin and he will rise, but that's another worry for another time. All right. Do you care to explain to us what you're doing here? And with these vampires that you've made, they're nothing like the vampires that we've seen here, or at the Foundation, or anywhere. They're not modern vampires like you see today. They are ancient bloods. I am the ancient blood. I made Dracula. The only reason he is what he is because he turned willingly. He gave his humanity up willingly. And because he wanted power and was willing to accept it, he became a different blood entirely. He was not drained of his blood when he was turned. But I knew that he would give in to the temptation. And he would awaken his evil and potential. My prayers at that point when he walked into my cave all those centuries ago were answered. All I had to do was sit back and wait. I mean, my freedom was short-lived, but I got out. Eventually, recently. This world, it does not accept the supernatural. I don't know why. But I believe we vampires should be the dominant species. Really? You really believe that? Said Grey. Yes. In fact, what are you? I see you, but you have eyes so old. You should not be here. Oh, this is interesting. I've never seen a form like you before. It's like you're human, but you're soulless. How is that? I made my deals, and I've made my peace with what I am now. You know what, I'm not getting anywhere with you. How about, I leave you to reflect for a while. No pun there. Grey then leaves the interrogation room, leaving Orlok in the dark. And then out of the darkness, Dracula slams Orlok's head into the table, breaking the table and slamming him to the ground. He then says, "You cannot control me. You were not with me when I turned my emotions off." Ah, yes, of course. You think you broke the siring? That's what I wanted of you, boy. What, you think you switched your emotions back on because your familiar helped you with that? No. You think I'm here because I wanted to be captured? Exactly, yes. I'm where I want to be. And of course, I have been playing. What? I have had so much fun. You think your attack on me then was of your own free will? No. I wanted to be here so I could destroy everything, including that beautiful bride of yours. No. Shelley! As Dracula shouted. Orlok then drags him back in and starts clawing at him and beating him. As for Shelley, in Dracula's living quarters, someone comes in. Shelley then saying, "I'm sorry, who are you?" "You're Dracula's bride, aren't you?" said a young woman who was clearly one of Orlok's proxies, as she goes all vampiric, with others behind her. Then a mist forms under the ventilation, revealing to be Orlok's vampires in the Foundation as they all start fighting. Many soldiers and workers quickly advance, fighting these creatures. As for Shelley, she tries to fight off the vampire proxies until they overpower her, holding her down as one grabs a broken chair leg and then says, "We were compelled to do this. You know, human blood tastes better than chocolate or drugs." He then slowly pierces her heart as she's then killed. As for Dracula, he's unable to fight Orlok. He then goes, "You will suffer. I will find you. Good luck with that, boy. Very good luck with that." Yes. I've caused enough damage here. You want to fight me? Then here. Orlok then bites into his hand and gives Dracula a taste of his blood. And now you know where to find me. Farewell, my boy. Orlok then kisses Dracula's head and then turns into mist. He then orders all his proxies to do the same. Then Dracula has a horrible feeling. He then goes to his living quarters. Along the way, he comes across Agent Browning, Tamara Enfield, and Ava Van Helsing. As he speeds all the way back to his living quarters at the Foundation, he finds Shelley's remains, all dust. In a fit of rage and sadness, Dracula lets out a huge vampiric roar, vowing to kill Orlok, trying to see if he can. But as long as Dracula is sired to Orlok and cannot be freed unless Orlok permits it. As the day approaches, Orlok then sits in his warehouse. He then tells all his vampire proxies to go outside and walk into the sunlight, as he has no use for them now. They all walk into the sunlight and burn. Then, sitting on some staircases, he then says, I will have my fight with you, Dracula. Once you're out of the way, I will begin my whole little revelation. Then Orlok taps into Dracula telepathically, saying, My child, if you're ready for me, you will come to this location tonight, and we will settle things then. I could do with a good fight. So as your maker, I release you. Then Eva says, What's going on, Dracula? It's Orlok. He broke his sire, his bond with me. I'm free from him. I'm free, and now I'm going to fucking kill him. But he's far more stronger than you, Dracula. I will have my revenge on him. And if I can't kill him, you must do everything in your power to do so. Then a familiar voice is heard. You might need the help of me, then. Revealing himself, it's Larry Talbot, saying, I think I've looked into some of the myths of Orlok. What? I think to kill him is the venom of a werewolf. I am a werewolf, and I have venom within my gums. It's pretty much a harmless fluid to humans, but to vampires it's quite toxic. Could kill him. Also, if you're gonna kill Orlok and avenge your love, condolences by the way, I think you should have some help from us. He's right, said Tamara. You granted my great-grandfather the ability to increase his agility by consuming insects? Well, we've inherited that gift as well. Yes. Will be best to rest up. Can you turn, Talbot? Full moon isn't for another 3 nights, but with my methods and my training, I think I can bring the beast out. Good. Now rest up. By sundown, we are going to kill Orlok or die trying.